You do not have to sell your soul to the chicken and broccoli diet to lose weight. Now, I know a whole lot of fitness trainers out here will make you think that you got to do the all salad diet, the all protein and vegetable diet. You can't ever eat anything that you enjoy. But I want to tell you right now, you can eat whatever you want to eat and still drop weight. And so in this video, I'm getting ready to share with you how to lose weight, how to lose the belly fat while eating your favorite foods. Okay, guys? Because me and you, we are a lot alike. All right, we're not only human, but I also like eating good food. I also like eating Waffle House, tacos, burgers, pizza. And if I'm being totally honest with you, I'm just going to give you a little bit of my background story. I grew up in the hood. I used to go to the candy lady all the time, eating honey buns, Cheetos, hot fries, Capri Sun, Kool-Aid. Kool-Aid was the big thing back then. We used to be competing. Me and my cousins, we used to compete to see who could put the most sugar inside the Kool-Aid to make it taste the best. You know what I'm saying? And so I grew up eating those types of things and, drinking a lot of sugar and just wanting to enjoy myself. But once I got to around about 21, 22 years old, into my fitness career, in my early stages of my fitness career, back when I did in-person training, I found myself extremely stressed, overwhelmed, with trying to build a business and not knowing where my next client was going to come from. And I found myself reverting back to my old habits because a lot of times the way we eat now is based on our upbringing. You know what I'm saying? And so I would eat honey buns. I'd leave my house at 10 at night, 11 at night, go to the gas station, get me some honey buns, get me some whole milk. I had a whole routine on how I did it. I put the little honey bun in the microwave for a good 15, 20 seconds, take it out, eat it, cut it up with a little bit of with my fork and eat it with some milk, you know what I'm saying? And that wasn't enough. I got to the point where I was eating the honey buns and Cinnamon Toast Crunch. And if I got tired of eating just Cinnamon Toast Crunch, I would mix it with Fruity Pebbles. I mean, I was pretty damn near addicted to eating sugar and food, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of people are not aware of this, but people don't just get addictions to, alcohol and, drugs, but food, sugar can be an addiction. And, around that time, I realized, man, this sugar addiction that I'm having is causing me to have eczema on my hands. This sugar addiction that I'm having is causing me to have acid reflux. It was so bad I couldn't even go to sleep till 1, 2 a.m. in the morning because it would just be burning so bad. You know what I'm saying? And so, a lot of the weight I was eating back then, when I was a kid, it found me in my early 20s, and I was almost like self-sabotaging. You know what I'm saying? I'm, trying to help people get in shape, but I'm over here eating junk food all the time. And, after a while, I started making some changes because I was disgusted with just like feeling tired all the time, brain fog, acid reflux, the eczema on my hands, all this kind of stuff. And I said to myself, I got to start cleaning up my diet, right? Start cleaning up my diet, and I was already doing training at this time, and I became very restrictive, right? I became very restrictive on how I was eating because I thought that was the way to go. And I stepped on stage and did a bodybuilding competition, 2 of them actually, hired a coach because a lot of the people that I was training in person, they would lose some weight, but they couldn't get rid of their stomach. And they didn't know how to get, I didn't know how to help them get as lean as I wanted them to get and as lean as they wanted to get. And so I'm like, shit, well, I gotta go get me a bodybuilding coach to show me, right? So stepped on stage, did a couple of competitions. It was very restrictive, even though I was able to eat 5 guys every Friday. That was like the highlight of my weeks, doing bodybuilding. And I was like, damn, how am I still getting leaner each week, even though I'm eating 5 guys? How is that possible? Double cheeseburger with a fry and a Coke or a Sprite. You know what I'm saying? And after my second show, I just came to a realization I didn't want to be that restrictive, even though I did enjoy myself a little bit, once a week. But I couldn't drink alcohol. I couldn't eat the cereal or nothing that I really wanted to eat from time to time. Tacos, go on dates, whatever it was, eat with the family. Couldn't do it. And so I said to myself, after I finished doing bodybuilding, my second show, I did know how to get myself super ripped at that point. I was able to help my coaching clients get ripped at that point, getting lean and lose the belly fat and all that stuff. But I wanted to have a little bit more balance. I didn't need to be bodybuilder ripped. You know, and I don't believe most guys do. You know, I was like 4 or 5% body fat back then when I was doing bodybuilding. But I believe every man should be anywhere between a good 10-15% body fat. You stay there, man, you're gonna feel your best and look your best. You're not gonna have no problem with no big old ass stomach or no man boobs, none of that. You know what I'm saying? And for my ladies, anywhere between about 18 to about 22% body fat, you go, you good, you Gucci. Don't, you know, a lot of times people always ask me, well, what should my BMI be at? Don't worry about your body mass index. That's what a lot of health physicians will talk about. But body mass index doesn't take into account how much muscle mass you have, which is very important. What you want to focus on is losing fat. Number one thing, focus on fat loss, okay? Because if they took my BMI right now, I would look like I'm overweight from looking at BMI. But if you look at my body fat percentage, they'd be like, damn, but that boy ripped up. He lean, he should be able to see his abs. You know what I'm saying? Which I can. And so focus on fat loss and not weight loss or body mass index or anything like that, okay? But I say all this to say, I went on this journey of, you know, when I was a kid, growing up eating whatever, whole lot of sugar, you know what I'm saying? And I know a lot of y'all, you may be the same way. You may be like, damn, you know, this is how we ate growing up. All we used to eat was soul food. All we used to eat was cereal for breakfast or waffles for breakfast and all these types of things. And it doesn't mean that you have to give it up. You just have to have certain things in place to be able to get the results and keep them while still being able to enjoy yourself. And I'm here to tell you, I'm living this. I'm eating the Waffle House. I'm eating the Shake Shack, the Five Guys, and going to taco restaurants, things like that. And I love me a little Woodford Reserve Old Fashioned every now and then. That's why I enjoy myself, okay? And so I'm about to show you how to do the same exact thing with these steps, okay? The first thing is this. You absolutely have to have structure, all right? You have to have structure. You show me somebody who doesn't have any type of structure in their life, I'm gonna show you somebody whose life is out of control. You know, because when you don't have that structure, you're gonna notice that there's a lot of what do you call it? You're not gonna be organized. When I think about this, when I think structure, I think about a business. When you hear about a big business, you think organization, right? That's a big organization. And what is it? It's an organization of different structures. You got marketing department, sales department, PR department, administration, all that kind of stuff, right? And these are systems that allow for that business to thrive. Stick with me. And then you have people. I look at people, we have to be our own CEOs, which means we have to have our life, our body is an organization, right? It's an organism. But anyway, you have to have routines, AKA systems and habits in your life that allow for you to thrive, that allow for you to stay spiritually aligned, that allow you to stay physically aligned, like in shape, you know, having energy, all these things. And so in terms of losing weight and being able to eat foods you enjoy, the number one structure or habit that you need to have in place is eating the right amount of food. Because you can eat whatever you want. I know on social media I may say things like, eat this food to lose that big ass stomach. Never eat this food. That's just to give you guys like a little awareness and clarity. Like just get on the right path. You know what I'm saying? But after a while, you should know, okay, well, I'm not gonna die if I drink me a Coca-Cola. You know what I'm saying? I don't need to do it every single day. I'm not gonna die if I eat me a honey bun. Don't mean I need to do it every single day. You see what I'm saying? And so, you know, I just want to give you some type of clarity because I know some people, they don't know what they should and shouldn't eat. And so that's why I share that type of stuff. But you can eat a honey bun every day or a burger every day or a sandwich every day. And if you're eating the right amount of food, the right amount of calories and protein on a daily basis, you will drop body fat and you will lose weight, okay? That's one of the most important parts. I got two other things I got to share with you, but that's very important. It's like calories is just a metric of energy, okay? And if you eat an excess amount of energy or drink an excess amount of energy, you know, the sodas, the sweet teas, the lemonades, y'all be out there celebrating being fat on the weekend, drinking all these lemonades and alcohol in excess, that means your ass ain't gonna lose no weight. You're not gonna be able to lose that stomach, okay? So it's very important that you monitor and you're aware of how much you're eating. And so that's why you use apps like MyFitnessPal to track how much you're eating. Tracking is just you gaining awareness how much you're consuming. It's just like making money. You look at your bank account, right? So that you can track how much going in, how much going out. Do I need to cut back on my spending in certain areas? You tracking, all right? Very simple stuff. And so that's the first thing. You got to have structure though. You don't have structure, you're gonna notice your weight gonna go down and go up, and you gonna be like, dang, why is this happening? But once you understand how much you need, you can eat whatever you want to eat and drop weight. I do recommend you still eat healthy majority of the time, good 80% of the time, and the other 20%, you can enjoy yourself. You can eat your favorite foods, okay? Second thing, boundaries. Guys, when I think about boundaries, I think about, let's say you dating somebody, right? And you know that they coming on hard. They just like texting you and calling you, and you know, I think we've all maybe experienced it. I know I have. And they calling you every time of the night, 1 a.m., 2 a.m. You're like, oh, it's a little too much, man. Like, dial it back. You know what I'm saying? Like, instead of, you know, calling me about 9 p.m., I'm done with talking. 9:30, I'm done with talking. I'm ready to go to sleep. You know, we got responsibility. We grown, right? And so we set these boundaries with people. We have to set boundaries with ourselves as well. Because we can, even though we can still eat the foods we enjoy eating, you have to set boundaries on how much are you going to eat? How frequently are you going to eat these things? Like, guys, I would love to be able to eat Waffle House every day of the week. Every day. I'll wake up, hey man, go ahead and get me an all-star special set up. You know what I'm saying? But life just don't work that way. And so I set boundaries on how often I eat at Waffle House. I set boundaries on how often I drink alcohol. But not just from a weight loss and fat loss standpoint, but I want to feel good. I want to be healthy. Don't you want to lose weight and also be healthy at the same time? Feel good, especially if you have a demanding career, you got family and responsibilities. You can't just be losing weight and still be sick and be unhealthy and having heart disease and type 2 diabetes and sleep apnea and erectile dysfunction. That happens not just because of how much you're eating, but the quality of the food that you eat, okay? That's why I say follow the 80-20 rule. But you do have to have boundaries. When some folks, they be eating so damn much, they just be stuffing themselves. And they be wondering why they feeling tired and having itis once they get done eating. You stuffing yourself. You got to have boundaries. You got to say to yourself, all right, man, I'm comfortable. Not push the plate away. You do not have to eat all that food. When you get comfortable, push the plate away. Set boundaries, okay? Same way we set boundaries with people in our life, set boundaries with yourself. That's number 2. Last thing is this. You have to raise your standards. Think about it, man. Like, I remember back when I was a kid, you know, my parents used to be like, look, we don't need no F's in here. We don't need no D's. You go get in trouble. You go take away this video game in your room. You're not going to be able to go outside. And all these different things. You go get a whipping if you keep getting the F's. You see what I'm saying? And because they have a standard. They had a standard. In our household, we make A's and B's. That's the standard. Some folks, they don't set no standards in the household with their kids be flunking out of school. That's why the parents who set standards, that's what them kids do. You got parents who nothing less than an A. And I remember when I was in school, certain kids, they didn't get nothing less than an A. You got to do the same thing with your body, man. You got to do the same thing. Set the standard. Like, if you looking in the mirror, you looking down and you got a frown on your face, you're like, God damn. And you mad about that, that's because that's not a part of your standard on how you looking. You looking at yourself in the bathroom mirror when you get out the shower and you're disappointed, you're not happy. That's because your reality, your body is not living up to the standards that you have for yourself. And so don't just brush that shit up underneath the rug and still keep eating junk food and, you know, just not having any structure in your life. You got to develop structure. Your habits and your lifestyle, your routines, have to align with your standards, okay? You can't have a standard of wanting to have a flat stomach or wanting to have abs, but you got big ass stomach behaviors. It don't work that way. You go keep that big old ass stomach, you're not going to lose the weight. You're not going to lose it. And so we don't get what we want in life. We get what we make a standard. Okay? And so if you set that standard to have that flat stomach, you set that standard to never have man boobs again, never have man titties, to have more energy and not have to stress and worry about health issues, you want to make sure that your habits and routines align with those things, align with that standard that you have for yourself. All right, very, very important. I think about Deion Sanders at this time right now. You know, they just wrapped up the season over there with Colorado University, and I have so much admiration for this guy because you know he has a high standard for himself. And a lot of times when you have a high standard for yourself, the people that you love and care about, they tend to rise to the occasion. They tend to rise to that standard. It's not to say they're gonna be exactly like you, but you go have people in your life that's gonna be like, look, man, I see John going a little bit harder in the gym. I see him getting in shape. Man, I'm about to start doing the same thing. And now look at his sons. All of them successful. All of them doing something. Even his daughter, she's doing something. I think she's in college. You know what I'm saying? Because he has a standard that he has his family living by, because he set a high standard for himself. And so every now and then I come across men and women who get on these game plan calls with me, and you know, they want their spouse to get in shape too. They want their husband, their wife, their boyfriend, their girlfriend. They want their kids to lose weight. Well, it starts with you. You got to set the standard. Once they start seeing you make it look sexy because you done set the standard to lose the weight and you dropping that weight, then they go start following suit. I've seen it dozens of times now. People join my coaching program. One guy who I think about named Jose came into the program, 4 kids, got a wife, running a trucking business, real estate company, extremely busy guy. But he was extremely tired as well, very moody because his weight had jumped up so high. But he made it a standard to master nutrition. I was like, dude, once we get this nutritional point, the weight will come off. All right. 8 months, 7, 8 months in, something like that, the dude dropped 70 pounds. You don't just luck up and drop 70 pounds. You have to set those standards. And then I started seeing him, you know, running 5Ks, running marathons. His kids I seen him taking photos with his kids. Like when you set that standard, you want your kids to grow up and not have to go through the same shame and embarrassment because of your weight and feeling subconscious because of your weight and your health. You don't want your kids to go through those things. Well, you got to set a high standard for yourself so that your kids grow up living within your new standards of living. Okay? It's all about what are your standards of living. We can enjoy ourselves, but we're going to have some discipline on how frequently we enjoy ourselves. We're going to enjoy ourselves, but we're going to be aware of how much we're eating while we're enjoying ourselves. Like, guys, I still drink alcohol. I still eat good food, but I have standards on when too much, when enough is enough, when I'm going overboard. And so I stop. All right. But if you do these things, this is how you're able to drop weight and keep it off while still being able to eat the foods you enjoy. I know there's a ton of trainers out there, they try to make you think all they do is eat healthy food year round. And no, some of them do, maybe 1 or 2%. The other crazies who just doing bodybuilding year round. But even some of these bodybuilders, when they're not in competition prep, they're enjoying themselves. Pizza, tacos, burgers, whatever, you name it, they eating the same kind of foods you eating. They eating the same thing. They just have more structure around how much they're eating these things. They have boundaries on when they need to stop. And they have standards on, man, I can't let my body get too bent out of shape. I'm eating too much. Let me cut this back. You see what I'm saying? That's how it works. You got to set a high standard for yourself. Anyway, hopefully you found this video helpful. If you did, be sure to hit the like button and hit the subscribe button if you're not already subscribed to the channel. And if there's more topics you want me to talk more about, go ahead and comment those down below and I'll share more about them. Let's get it.